After such a long season for these drivers, we're going to end it where it historically began for IndyCar racing here in the U.S. But here we are for the finale for the Fuel Racetracks Designs IndyCar Series, and we're in for a pretty good treat. It's a very close race up at the top of the championship with two drivers closing in.
Obviously I'm going to be unprepared for this, but it's really turning out to be a really great battle. I've watched a couple of races, mainly the road course races, really action-packed season all throughout from what I've seen. It's going to come down to maybe two or three positions on track. We're in for a thrill.
Yeah, we really are in for a thriller, getting ready for qualifying here, as a few drivers are making their way to the track and putting a time down. Mitch Welker, he's on the track. He's going to actually discount that time. We currently got Evan Adams out and around on the oval, getting ready to start his time.
It's really going to come down to how you get out of the pits, because you got to carry as much momentum as you can, obviously, in these Indy cars. So that second lap's really going to depend on how much momentum you carry out of the pits. And speaking of the pits, it's going to be interesting to see if we do get green flag pit stops, because there's a bit of a rule change now at the Homestead Miami Speedway, isn't there?
Yeah, indeed there is. So for those unaware, there's a change. So typically, across all forms of racing on iRacing at Homestead, you had to come in through the access road. You can see just off to the left of Evan Adams. You have to take that access road down all the way to the pits off of turn 3. However, they've changed that to now you're able to pit off of turn 4, and that is what we're using for tonight. These guys are able to come off of turn 4. They could still use the access road if they wish. However, you are going to lose a lot of time if you choose to do it that method. So it's quicker to come off of turn 4. However, with the banking, the drop in banking, it's going to be a lot trickier to do so. Just kind of looking at a few more drivers. Here's one we're going to want to keep an eye on. I just lost him on the timing. There he is. John Poole is looking to take a championship home today in the 23 car, currently leading in the points. We'll pull it up here on the right side of the screen. You see, very close, only 14 points separating Bomersbach and Poole for the championship. Both of them going in, no other driver close for contention, so it's pretty much a race between those two.
Yeah, everyone else is pretty much racing for another position, even if that, and it's really obviously not going to matter. These two, they've been at a deadlock for most of the season now, and like I said earlier, coming down to 2 or 3 positions. Pit strategy, if we go green for a long time, it's going to be important. They're definitely going to be focused on each other throughout this whole race. So I'm excited to see how they race each other, how everyone else races them. There's a lot of factors that can come into this.
Indeed, there are a lot of factors that can come into this. John Poole puts his time down, and he is going to be done with qualifying. We're looking at Kite Bomersbach. That's again second in the points. He's getting ready to finish his second lap. So John Poole currently sitting in third on the grid. Bomersbach waiting to put his time down here. We'll see 2 more turns for him to go.
Really all down on the white line there. He might be showing off too much speed, but a great, perfect line. We'll see what he runs at 9.44, which will put him only 4th, about a 100th and a half behind Poole. So right now, on the same row as each other, it's lining up to be interesting.
It is lining up to be interesting.
Sorry about that. I was just about to say, just Mahan and Roberts put down really good laps, but also Riley Thompson did. He's the first one to go into the 8s, ran at 8.92.
Yeah, he's just put the time. Going to be sitting on pole at the moment, looking to see if anyone else can try to beat that. And we've got Steven Larkamp. He's pulling out onto the track, still not waiting to put a time down. Looking at Mitch Welker in the 1 car. He's working through turns 3 and 4. Can he beat defending champion from last season? Unfortunately, not going to be competing for the Cup this time around, but across the line he comes.
At least he gets to look forward to a new number, probably.
Yeah, I was going to say he's been wearing the 1 due to him winning the championship as per IndyCar rules. Only allotted for the champion, so he's going to have to retire that number after this season. It could potentially go to either Poole or Bomersbach if they wish.
If he repeated, would he have been able to take the 2?
I don't think anyone runs the 2, as far as I'm seeing. The only 2 car that there is there, and Welker is going to go up to 3rd in qualifying. The only car in a 2 is the 0-2 of Matt Hollabaugh. He's going to come across the line, set his first time down. Barely going to have enough time for a second.
I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get it in. Actually,
no,
he might be about
he came
3
across,
or 4 seconds.
He came across with 26 seconds remaining. So it's going to be very close.
10 seconds left. Our top two in the championship kind of slipped down the order. They're 7th and 8th now. Now
They're
that
still dropping. Stephen Larkin put on his time. He's going to be third. Matt Hollaba comes across the line just in the nick of time. He goes second. Wow. 5 thousandths
just
off
barely.
of
So our
Riley
top
Thompson.
two. So our top two, 8th and 9th, down in the mid pack.
Yeah.
Basically, it's gonna be exciting to say the least. See how they navigate the traffic in front of them. They can't really take any risks.
Yeah, they really can. That's going to be the big thing, too, is that you got to drive perfect race pretty much. At the very least, you got to minimize the mistakes you make. So we're going to take a look down, go down to the grid here, and you can see your starting lineup. And we'll have it rolling across the bottom of your screen. So Riley Thompson from the mid-zone, he's going to be starting on pole after a very good qualifying, and he's just been on his game. We'll see if he can take home the win tonight. Matt Hollab on the 0-2 from the Northwest will be starting outside of him in second.
With a track like this in the IndyCars, I expect the times to be a bit closer, but the top 10 separated by close to a tenth. As you got Larkamp, Welker, Danny Roberts kind of close to each other. Only two drivers in the 8s with Flyers there, and it's going to be definitely interesting to see how everyone races each other early in this race, because it's obviously going to be a big pack race, so there's going to have to be a lot of patience.
Yep, and you can see there in 8th place, John Poole in the 23, and right behind him in 9th on a different row, unfortunately, is going to be Kite Bomersbach. So they're 8th and 9th, so they're as close as you can get on the starting lineup. I'm sure both of them would have loved to have been further up the grid. You're putting yourself at a lot of risk being stuck in the midfield, so I'm curious on what strategy you're going to go. If we'll see some guys see one of them maybe drop to the back, decide to chill out there, or just go flying up towards the front. We'll have to see. So it's going to be really interesting how both these drivers try to tackle it, because obviously going for a title pretty much to the point where whoever finishes in front of the other is going to win. I do believe that in the case of winning, that Bomersbach would need to finish. If Bomersbach finishes in first, Poole would have to finish in, I think, third to take home the title.
Yeah, it's how likely is it that they finish both at the front to each other with all the. They clearly have some stiff competition, and they're going to have to take a while to get up there. It might be a situation where whoever gets a better start here, Poole or Bomersbach, one of them's going to have to follow the other through the field, if any.
Yep, and field is going to be rolling off, taking their pace up as the grid is rolled on through. There we go. So up for 150 laps of racing tonight. And if we go green all the way, it'll take about an hour. I'm going to adjust something, so we'll be right back in a second. Apologize for that. Just wanted to adjust something, make the iRacing logo a little bit smaller so you can see more of the cars on the track.
Get out of there with their advertising.
Yeah, they changed the thing. We were able to get rid of it completely. Fortunately, they patched that, so we have to go back to minimizing the entire UI to try to make it as small as possible. So we got to do that before the race. Got it just done now. Before we go racing here, pace car is going to turn off, and we're getting ready to go under the lights here at Homestead for the final race of the season. Pace car is going to be off, waiting for the green to come out. There it is, green flag here for the final race.
Riley Thompson got a great jump there. He's going to be almost half a second in front of Matt Hollaba, who's going to be under attack from Woody Mahan now for third, as I believe that's Larkamp trying to almost go 3 wide through the middle, as they are 3 wide now for, I believe, 4th place.
Yeah, and it's an all-out brawl here. 3 wide going to turn 3. Danny Roberts wants some spots, as well as Larkamp up on the body. Woody behind, leading this little pack in second as the leader, Riley Thompson, breaks away.
Yeah, it looked like our championship leader so far, John Poole, had a good start. He's up to 6th, maybe 5th. Kite Bomersbach didn't really get going. Well, he's back to P10 as it stands so far. Under attack for P11.
Yeah, Bomersbach starting to fall back. Meanwhile, John Poole currently running up in 6th, and we'll keep tabs on these guys all night long as both of them are looking for a championship.
Yeah, I don't think Bomersbach really wants to for him to get away this early. I'm sure it doesn't matter that much to him at the moment, but to see him pulling away is definitely, it can't be a good sign.
Yeah, and up at the front, Riley Thompson's already dropped back to 4th. The leaders caught him a lot faster than I thought they would, and already they're starting to go for the lead. Danny Roberts trying to make a move on the outside of the 31.
Yeah, they're starting to single file out a little bit, especially in the turns, but obviously when you get to the front stretch and back stretch, all bets are off with the runs you get right now.
And here comes John Poole coming to the picture already in the top 5. He's making a move straight to the front of this field, doing what he needs to do to lock in this championship as much as he can.
Yeah, he's not wasting any time right now. He wants to put as much distance, as many cars between him and Bomersbach as he can. Speaking of Bomersbach, he's continued to drop. He's all the way back to 13th at the moment.
Oh,
Not
spin
good.
off of the final turn.
Munoz.
Yeah, Carlos Munoz. Or sorry, Rodriguez Munoz.
I wish you get Carlos Munoz.
I was getting my names mixed up. He goes for a spin off of turn 4. He's actually able to save it, so with that, we'll go back to the front as these guys are still not done fighting for the lead. Danny Roberts wants the spot in his Ferrari.
I was just looking back on that. Rodrigo just made a little bit of a mistake, got on the apron out of 4, and hitting the apron in IndyCars is death. But he did a nice little 360 to get it back going. Unfortunately, no yellow. He's back to 22nd.
Yeah, he's going to be hoping for a yellow. We might get one with the way these guys are racing. These guys are going in an all-out bro. John Poole easily moving himself up into 3rd. I'm amazed with what's going on in his car. Remember, fixed setup for these guys, but it looks like he's got something that these other guys don't. Just passing everyone that he can.
No problems whatsoever. He is possessed right now. He is not going to let this championship go easy, and he's showing it right now. He could easily lock this thing up if this goes green, and he puts even more cars between him and Bomersbach, he moved back even further, I believe. I think he's back to 14th.
Yeah, not sure what's with his drop in progress. You can see there, Poole working on the outside, trying to take away the lead. I think for him, if I was him, I would just hang out here in 3rd. You got the leaders right in front of you, but nope, he wants more.
Continuously trying to possibly go 3 wide because Danny Roberts is trying to make his own move on the outside to get by Larkamp, who's also had a good start of his own, 4th to 1st, as some of the leaders drop back, but Larkamp's holding strong on that inside. This is kind of what I predicted. If the leader runs that inside line all around the track, it's going to be hard to pass.
Yeah, definitely is going to be hard to pass. You're going to have to build up a lot of runs on the outside and just kind of hope that the leader maybe makes a mistake, or you're going to have to come up with something else to do. Meanwhile, in the background, Woody Mahan dealing with Jared Dixon. Dixon up to the inside, going to wash up a little bit, almost getting into Mahan. And actually, here comes Byron Daly now on the inside. It's going to be 3 wide midfield.
As that sorts itself out, I believe Woody Mahan was able to clear them. A little bit of a 4-car breakaway as those couple of cars side by side, those top 4 get a little bit of a gap now.
Yeah, and Andrick currently sitting in 4th, trying to make something happen, looking just kind of which lane is better at the moment. He's going to just chill behind in 4th. We can kind of see the leaders are starting to single file out. Still a lot of action going on midfield. And speaking of which, here comes Riley Thompson back on the outside, trying to get back up to the lead. Kind of amazed on how far he's dropped back. Obviously started in 1st, currently back in 8th.
And maybe he didn't get enough practice in the dirty air because it doesn't seem like he's able to really manage it well right now. And he's definitely got work to do. I'm sure he misses that clean air already.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. Kite Bomersbach, I'm not sure if he's just being safe or what's going on. He's currently running all the way back in 16th after starting up in 9th, so it has not been a lot of forward progress for the 37. If anything, as he's just continuously dropped back to the grid. Hopefully he can really pick it up. I'm a bit surprised. I thought if anything would be hanging around 10th, but dropped back outside of the top 15.
I've been listening on his in-car. It just doesn't seem like he's pushing it too hard, really.
Wow, Jared Dixon, sorry to cut you off. Jared Dixon, amazing move down the back straight up the middle of Andrick, and Byron Daly's going to get 2 for 1.
Not gonna stick. Didn't stick well for Dixon, but no one was able to make a move on him.
And Daly's trying to get back on him. He's going to have a look down to the inside. This is a fantastic racing here.
Everyone's trying to get multiple grooves going, but it's really hard when you have the top 4 running 4 different lines trying to pass each other.
Still continually fanning out up at the top, trying to win out on one another, but yeah, the top 4 pretty much set in stone at the moment. I can see Byron Daly hiking ahead, maybe up into the lead. We'll have to see. He's a pretty fast driver in these cars. He's done very well in this series.
Just got to find the cleanest air possible. The top 4, the leaders, always dictate which lines, are going to be the best to run. Like I said, all 4 of them are pretty much running different lines into the turn, so that doesn't help. You just gotta. It's kind of like the Cup cars are now. You gotta pick a lane and hope that it's free.
Yeah, indeed, and just kind of looking at these guys getting fanning out. Every time I think there's going to be a pass as they fan out along the front straightaway. Byron Daly looking on the outside of Woody Mahan now.
Yeah, there's barely any room up there, but he almost got to the side pod of him as he got to the side pod of him again, but he can't get a big enough run at the moment.
And here he goes. He's going to get a run out of turn 4, go way down low, and should be able to get the spot.
Yeah, it looks like because he made that inside line open up, that sent Woody Mahan kind of up the track, almost put him in a bad situation, but I believe that was Jared Dixon who had to check up a lot in order to not get ahead of him, so it looks like Mahan's going to drop to about 6th for the time. Here comes Daly again on the outside, really making the outside work better than anyone right now.
Yeah, I think he's figured out something that I think really the biggest thing for these drivers is figuring out where you can pass, where you can't, and how to use drivers to your advantage. And here he's going to work around the outside by himself on John Poole.
That's the main problem hindering him right now. No help on that outside. He can really gain on everyone running that outside because everyone else is driving with a almost contact behind him, but everyone else is having a bad arrow push.
Wow, look at him rocket around off of John Poole after being stuck in that Washford pool. Daly was able to take advantage, rocket around the outside. Now Poole's going to be put back in 4th place. So Daly looking really strong, and let's see, he's going to be working immediately on the back of Danny Roberts. Going to look off to the outside in turn 3.
It's going to be especially hard to make work for 2nd place because Danny Roberts keeps going a little bit to the 2nd lane whenever he catches to the back of Larkamp, who's actually dominated the first couple of laps of this race now, which is going to be it's going to be difficult to pass, though, like I said. He's running a perfect race right now. He's doing what he has to do.
Yeah, it's only going to get worse as the run goes on once these tires wear out. And Byron Daly working to the outside now. He's really looking strong out there by himself. Doesn't really need a whole lot of cars, but almost gets put into the wall by Danny Roberts.
Yeah, Roberts is just... I think he's riding. I know he keeps going to the outside, but if he really wanted to make a pass on him, he'd drop back to get an even bigger run.
I think he's honestly just doing that just so he can get out of the aero wash in the corner, less wear on his tires.
Yeah, that as well.
I think he knows that, yeah, it's going to be pretty tough to take the lead away. And I mean, you only have to pass one car. You don't have to do it now. You can do it in about 100 and so laps.
He's got nowhere to go now.
Whoa.
He almost rammed into Daly right there as he continuously go 3 wide into these turns, but Larkamp's not budging.
Yeah, Larkamp's not budging. Neither are a lot of these leaders. We're going to take this time to just go a little bit further in the back to see what's going on for some of these drivers. Riley Thompson currently battling Jared Dixon. Also got Scott Taylor. I haven't mentioned him a lot. He's done very well in this series.
A battle.
Yeah, and a bunch of guys around him. Liam Sheen also in the 52 in behind.
Say Kite Bomersbach, you know, I don't think he's having necessarily a problem. At least I don't yet. But
yeah, no.
Seems to me he's just
got a message from Will Roberts, who's doing double duty as a series admin, as well as being on the box for the 33, which is, or sorry, not the 33, 37, which is kind of a conflict of interest to me. But he's helping out Bomersbach, and they're taking it easy at the moment.
Yeah, it's a smart thing to do, but if this goes green, like say they get to the first green flag pit cycle, you gotta think that if they get to like around the fuel window when they have to start pitting, like when you approach that, you gotta start making moves.
And battle for the lead, Danny Roberts working around the outside of Larkamp, pinches Larkamp down, and he's easily going to take the lead out of 3 and 4. You saw it on screen there. Here comes Daly now, going to do the same around Larkamp.
We'll see if he's able to clear himself for 2nd place, because obviously he's not going to have to draft down the backstretch, but he's clear right now, and it looks like he's going to be able to get the spot done.
And so Larkamp gets put back into 3rd place after leading a majority of the laps of this race so far. And currently it's like 20 laps.
Yeah, he's going to have a real bad push in Daly's air right now. He's going to go back to 4th, I believe, now behind Mayhem.
And here comes Daly, immediately going to go to the outside of Danny Roberts now as he's going to look for the lead. And that inside lane a lot harder to run now. When you're side by side, at least.
I think that's why Danny Roberts he's not running the way low line down these straightaways like the 31 was. He knows that the tires are really going to be ailing by the end of this run if he keeps doing that. That being said, he does keep it down there this time. And if I was Daly, maybe if this stuff was happening at the end of a race, if the leader was running on the bottom like that, you got to pinch him down there as hard as you can. That's personally what I would do right now, but that's why I'm not in this.
Yeah, and Woody Mahan currently running in 4th. As you see Larkamp rocking around the outside, just kind of looking from his point of view, seeing the leader just constantly going at it. He's been sitting completely fine inside the top 5. He's figures, you know, no point in battling now. I'm going to save my stuff for later.
Top 2 sort of separating themselves right now. It's Larkamp trying to hang on to those guys, but it's really starting to spread out. You can see who's going for it and who's kind of just relaxing right now. It's not many battles throughout the rest of the pack.
Yeah, now we gotten out of the kind of crazy bit after the first 25 laps, starting to cool down, starting to calm down. As John Poole is now working to the outside of Woody Mahan. And he's going to get a little bit of help from Larkamp up ahead.
So one thing I'm seeing is all of a sudden Jared Dixon's in the pits.
Yeah, not sure what happened to him.
Might have walled it out of 4.
Yeah, if you can give us an update on that, Connor. While we continue to look at the race.
Oh, he walled it like mid 3 and 4. That was odd.
So after getting some wall damage, it looks like the 22 Dixon's going to be down in the pits. Might have to be a retirement, depending on how severe it was.
He kind of came down on the, who was it again? The 95 of Scott Taylor. Kind of came up off his line and got into Dixon. A little bit of a racing incident, though. Dixon pounded the wall pretty hard with the suspensions. That might end his race. Mitch Welker almost wrecked hitting the apron out of 4 around the same place. Mitch Welker actually made a... Did he make a great save? Or was that not Mitch Welker? It was Liam Sheen.
Yeah.
Liam Sheen made a great save.
And just kind of looking down, Rodrigo Munoz never got the caution that he would have liked, at least yet, after 30 laps. He had that spin within the first 5 laps of the race off in turn 4. Was able to save it, keep the car from getting damaged, but needs a caution to get back up with everyone else. He's 15 seconds behind.
Here comes Woody Mahan now. He's caught up to the top 2. Now Byron Daly's still trying to do anything he can to get this outside lane going, but he just can't get the big enough runs to have a chance at clearing Danny Roberts right now. He's trying everything he can.
Yeah, now I'm going to look to the outside, and yeah, he's just been trying it constantly. If anything, I think he's just making, half-hearted attempts. Hopefully one of these times it works. I don't think he's actually trying. It definitely is also helping that he's running out of the dirty area, which I think is a big deal for him, just making sure his tires don't wear out as much as Roberts, similar to what we saw Roberts do with Larkamp earlier.
Speaking of
down the inside.
Here he goes inside. He's probably going to be able to make the pass work here, but he's going to have to be a little bit faster in the return, getting harder to hold it down.
Whoa!
We'll see here. Oh, contact! I
Almost
believe they made contact there.
I think it was almost.
It was very close. It was very close if it wasn't. Roberts somehow is going to hold on. Here comes Woody Mahan to be inside.
Yeah, and right there you saw how hard it is to keep that car pinned on that inside line. If you have a car on the outside of you pinching it down. And Danny Roberts did exactly what he needed to defend the lead, and we continue on.
Yep, it's not going to stop the 06, even with a close call like that. He's still going to go at it. Now it seems like the top 3 have separated themselves now, as 4th place John Poole is kind of biding his time, possibly. Larkamp's back to 5th after leading the first 20 laps or so.
Yeah, Daly going back around on the inside line. You can see how much more of a run Danny Roberts gets mid-corner. Just rockets to the outside again, and Daly's still not able to make a passing attempt.
Yeah, then we got those top 9 that have separated themselves. Then 10th on back, Mitch Welker, leading a little bit of a pack here of Hollaba Hurley and Kite Bomersbach as well. He's moved his way up to 14th now. A little bit of progress made.
Yeah, he might be, deciding now it might be time to start moving himself up a little bit closer to the front. I'm surprised Riley Thompson's back here. He's dropped all the way back from leading this race, starting on pole, to being back in 11th. So it's not been the best progress for the 56, but still a very long race left to go.
Maybe it is IndyCar as the new tire.
It could be. Could be. We never know. Looking up further ahead, we see Scott Taylor and Jack Andrick going at it for 8th place.
By the way, Jared Dixon is back on track, and I think they're going to lap him soon. He's in 1 and 2. We'll see if Jared Dixon just goes on the access road to let him by, which I'd assume he'd do. But if he doesn't, it'll be interesting to navigate.
Yeah, so he's able to get that car in a raceable condition, so he's going to continue on. And there you see, for reference, is our leader. So they're coming up on him and coming up on him fast.
These top 3 are going fast right now. Last lap, they ran 25 1s and 2s. Larkamp, who's 4th, ran a 3, but Larkamp's now separated himself from the rest of the pack, and it seems like John Poole, maybe John Poole's holding them up right now. I kind of doubt it, but it seems like the outside lane's definitely...
Wow, and Cohen Evans riding way up by the wall. He's really using every inch of track that he can. Let's see if he does the same thing in 3 and 4.
You can't make it work in 3 and 4. 1 and 2, if you're going to do it, it better be in 1 and 2. Oh, he's up there in 3 and 4.
You can get up there and exit. If you're up there on entry, you're definitely going to find yourself on the wall by exit.
No way you make it if you enter like that.
So on board currently with Cohen Evans in the 17 machine. And he started all the way in 10th, currently up in 7th.
Yeah, trying to do his best Byron Daly impression right now. We didn't mention it. I don't know if we mentioned it, but Byron Daly started 13th. Not a great qualifying effort. He's gone all the way up to fighting for the lead pretty much his whole run, so he got up there really fast.
Yeah, and actually just led that last lap by. It was for a brief second, but he did lead a lap. He led one lap, and he's going to try to lead a second here. Roberts is able to get past him in turn 2 as we come up on Jared Dixon in a hurry.
That was close.
Indeed it was, so Dixon's going to go a lap down. Actually, he's going to go 6 laps down.
Yeah, good luck getting those laps back.
Yeah, especially considering how green this race has gone. I'm going to knock on wood here. This is actual wood. I didn't have wood back in my apartment.
Might as well just buy a wooden block.
Just for that? Yeah.
Exactly. It prevents it. Eric Daly's going to have a run on the inside here. Here he goes. He might be able to complete the pass.
He's going to wash up,
nope,
almost clip the white line. Robert's giving him just enough room to make the corner, but that's about it.
Yep, as these top 3 had separated themselves, as Larkamp cleared that line. Larkamp's almost catching back up to them again, as well as John Poole. So it seems like the next person to clear out of that pack back there will be getting back to the top 3.
Yeah, John Poole is one of the fastest guys last lap through, so he's closing in on Larkamp and everyone else. So the top 5 converging in on each other here as we getting close to the 1/3 mark and coming up on green flag pit stops, I would imagine.
Yeah, the green flag pit stop's coming soon. You can't wait too long, but you need to make sure you time it right compared to what the leaders are doing. Kite Bomersbach, he's really going to have to pay attention to when the leaders go, obviously, especially John Poole when he goes in. He's starting to make some leeway into the gap. He's up to 12th now. He might be able to have a run for 13th soon, not quite, but we say it's a long ways back. It's not terrible. About 2.5 seconds, maybe.
Yeah, he's still very much in this, very close to the leaders. He's been taking it easy, been slowly starting to move himself back up the order. He's currently in 12th, but Woody Mahan up at the front moves ahead of Byron Daly. He's going to have a look to the inside of Danny Roberts, so Mahan now starting to force the issue.
Yeah, they're getting impatient right now with this battle for the lead. Maybe they think Danny Roberts is holding him up, but I think Danny Roberts is doing everything he can, really. I don't think he's doing anything wrong. I think right now he's the guy to beat, but it seems like he's really worn his time.
And behind them, John Poole's gone past Stephen Larkamp as both of these guys close up to our leaders. So Poole's got some solid.
Pull off. Yeah, as you said that, Byron Daly finally was able to make the pass work. He had a great run on the outside going into the turn there. He's up to P2. Here comes Woody Mahan trying to make something work for second. Going for the lead, as a matter of fact, on Byron Daly.
Yeah, Daly leaving a lot of space.
He's almost able to make it work.
Actually, I think going to make it work. Indeed he does. He's going to be clear of Daly. Doesn't go up to block, however. Trying to prevent giving Daly some draft. So Mahan's going to be our leader. Daly's going to shuffle back into 3rd. Roberts in 2nd. So great move for Woody Mahan.
Byron Roberts is not Byron Roberts. That's a combination. Byron Daly's probably wondering. Daly's probably wondering what he's got to do to get the lead on his own. He doesn't matter. Even if he does pass Danny Roberts, which he did there, there's just someone else to pass him back.
Yeah, looking off the back of Woody Mahan's car, you can see everyone else in picture. Roberts, Daly, as well as Poole and Larkamp closing in.
I think Roberts' tire is going to be in worse condition because of all the laps he spent on the inside. It's really definitely took a toll on him as he's going to move on.
And you can look and see how much more stable Woody Mahan is. And remember, he didn't really battle a whole lot. Roberts and Daly did, however.
Roberts with a huge run there was able to clear him by a lot. Mahan didn't hit the wall, did he? Oh, pit stop.
That was abrupt.
Who else is coming in there? Someone else is coming in. Larkamp's coming in as well.
Yeah, that was a very sketchy moment for our leaders there. A lot was going on. We got Byron Daly down on pit road and waiting to see if anyone else is going to come by now. Danny Roberts actually going to come in on the access road. Interesting choice.
It's not going to work. He's in the grass.
Sideways and go around.
Someone else missed the access road as well. Cohen Evans missed the access road. The yellow's out. And Evans almost hit the pit wall.
Man.
That is chaos. All of a sudden.
Yep, and Danny Roberts was actually, I believe, the cause for that caution.
Yes, he was. Might be the first time anyone's ever spun into the sand trap.
Yeah, and I think he did this exactly to avoid what happened to him. He was trying to have a safer entry on a pit road, goes way too fast, gets off into the grass, goes sliding, and actually was just able to avoid that berm that's there for the infield road course and get his car turned around.
He wasn't the only one to mess up either. Like I said, Cohen Evans kind of went off in the grass as well. A couple people are trying to be safe by doing the access road, but it definitely bit Danny Roberts here, and that's gonna really hurt his race, I think.
Yeah, it is
Give
indeed.
Dan-
I think he's
Woody
lucky.
Mayhem. Sorry,
No, yeah,
I'm trying to talk at once.
yeah, I think he
I was
is
just-
lucky though that the caution did come out.
I think
Otherwise,
someone else got a good break. Woody Mayhem entered the pits, I believe, right before the yellow came out. I don't know if he actually took a stop. He did.
I would
So
imagine he
I believe
did. I think it would have been much better for him too, because that way you end up ahead of everyone else, and indeed he is ahead of everyone else. We've got pit stops underway, and coming off the pit road, it's going to be John Poole. I believe that is Liam Quinn, indeed that is. Then Riley Thompson, Mitch Welker, Matt Hollaba. But the guy leading on the track is going to be Woody Mahan.
it's really a couple unfortunate for those guys who just pit. I believe Larkamp, for the time being, has dropped a lap down. I don't know if they're in for the wave
Yeah,
around or not. I
he's
don't
going to
know
be.
if they.
He's sitting in for the wave around as well as Byron Daly. So, kind of their strategy kind of backfired on them there, pitting a little bit earlier as they got stuck allowed down. But obviously, you can never really predict when a caution would come out, and that was a fairly weird one, very unconventional.
I'm surprised the caution was thrown. I didn't think iRacing would throw one
It's
for slowing me down
so
there.
inconsistent track by track. Sometimes you can go spinning around. There can be a 3-car pileup on the infield, and they won't throw a caution, won't even bat an eye. On some tracks, though, it'll be a guy, as we saw Danny Roberts, off in the grass in the infield road course, and they still threw a caution. So, honestly, it's much like actual NASCAR. So, in that point of accuracy, it's very accurate in real life.
It's gonna be interesting to see how the 37 takes this restart into account. I believe it's showing him 9th right now, so he made some spots up in that whole fiasco.
Which driver?
Bomersbach.
Yeah, indeed he has. He's gotten past Larkamp Daly on that exchange, as well as Danny Roberts. So he was in 12th, running in 9th, so perfectly where he should be.
He's farther up the pack now. We'll see if he plays it cool once more, or if he starts making moves. We still just did get to the first third of the race.
No, we have just gotten past it. At 52 of 150, just past the third mark, and closing in on halfway very quickly. So yeah, I am curious what's going to happen with this 37, because obviously wanted to try to avoid being caught up in a lot of things, and I think even if with that green flag stop, I think he's going to continue his march forward. But now he's got to make a decision if he wants to go now after avoiding the first part of that race, or if he's going to still hang back.
I would think he'd continue to hang back. Still got a long way to go. Still a green flag stop to go, obviously, if it does go green again.
And Kite Bomersbach started in 9th, currently running in 9th. And highest he's been was in 8th position. Lowest, that's incorrect. He was lowest at around 16th. So, been hovering around the midfield. Has made a lot of progress. Unfortunately, his rival is chasing John Poole, currently running in 2nd. And actually, from the look of it, it actually looks like he's led a lap. I'm gonna find which.
A caution, that's probably one of the best case scenarios for Munoz there. He got his yellow and he's able to at least take the wave around.
Yeah, and it looks like if we can pull it up here. Yeah, so John Poole's led 2 laps. Actually, I think those are the 2 laps from the caution coming out. Because I think John Poole inherited the lead that. So that's 2 bonus points for John Poole. So it'll actually make the gap from points gap from 14 to 16 for Bomersbach. So Bomersbach's going to have to step it up a bit here and get going, because his championship rival currently in 2nd, looking at 1st, as Woody Mahan, the driver at 1st, is going to lead these guys back down to green.
He's going to run the middle line here coming to the restart, so we'll see what kind of jump they get behind him. Everyone's always vulnerable to stack-ups in this case, but doesn't seem like there's going to be much of a stack-up. Fairly clean start. We're green.
And
Poole's
Green
got
back
a good run.
here at Homestead, and here comes Poole with a run on Mahan, looking to the outside immediately down into turn 1.
Halaba's already making moves. He went to the inside for P1. Poole with an aggressive move to the inside. Almost got into the apron out of 2. He's going to the inside for the race lead on Mahan. He's probably going to be able to make it work. Halaba with a great run all the way up to the top already.
Oh, and Poole flashed out for a second, but he's back, though, and in behind him, Liam Quinn and and Woody Mahan are going side by side. Matt Halaba, he's decided to join the party up at the front, as well as Mitchell Welker, as a bunch of guys who weren't in the front of the field early on are up here and ready to fight.
I think everyone realized how scrambled out the whole field got there, so a lot of people might be going for as much track position as they can in the early going. We'll see.
And we'll see. Here comes Hollowell up to the inside of Mahan. We'll see Mahan fights. He's been more conservative, that 8 car. So we'll see if he decides to hang back a little bit until the craziness dies down. But John Poole up, leading this race in that 23, trying to get a championship.
And he's got no pressure right now. The 37, I believe, has not made any ground up. Still sitting in about 9th, maybe 8th. He might be falling back or going up a couple more spots. I believe he just let I believe it was Danny Roberts he just let by. So Danny Roberts is already back in the pack apparently.
Indeed, he is. And up for the lead, Matt Hollowell has gone up the inside, taken away from John Poole for a moment, but John Poole back on him. And now Liam Quinn actually trying to make a pass on Hollowell.
Just a game of runs for these first couple of laps on these restarts. It's always sketchy to see what type of runs happen, what type of contacts made. We almost had a couple wrecks before the initial.
Wow, Danny Roberts has made some extremely quick progress. Not sure where he started down the order. He's definitely outside of the top 10. And now he's currently in 5th.
Yeah, a little sand on the tires never hurt anyone, I suppose. He's already right back up. He's already fighting for the top 3 of Hollowell.
Impressive stuff here, looking at one of the fastest drivers in this race, battling with Hollowell for 3rd. He's wasted no time. Here he goes to the inside of Liam Quinn. Wow, almost makes wheel-to-wheel contact. Gonna go to the inside of John Poole. Wow, he's taking no questions or no answers from anyone. Immediately goes back up to the lead.
That's a driver right there. I don't know what to say about that. That was insane. I don't know how we got up there already. We'll see how long he can keep it this time.
And we'll see indeed. He did a really good job on the first one. He's staying immediately as far down close as he can to that white line. Matt Hollowell going to lead the charge of everyone else on the top lane.
Immediately as John Poole saw that move happen, he kind of got out of a race for the lead.
And side by side here still. He returns 1 and 2 now into 3.
Saying more of the same for Bomersbach. He's back to 14th, doing the same old.
Yeah, same strategy for him, no change in the way he's going to approach this race. All of us still on that outside.
It's holding strong right now. We'll see when it finally becomes really the preferred line here. As all of us making it work still, but I don't know. We'll find out. He seems like he has the help right now. Not that the draft help matters much, but Liam Quinn's holding on with him. He almost took a look to the inside there, thought better of it.
Yeah, Liam Quinn currently sitting back in 3rd, just kind of watching these guys in the same role pretty much that Woody Mahan was earlier, just kind of watching the 2 leaders go back and forth, although a lot less chaotic here without Byron Daly. Daly, which is, speaking of which, is currently running in 7th.
Here he comes. I was about to say, here he comes. He's already up to P8. Not obviously the charge that Roberts had, but it might be better on the tires if he has a little bit somewhat conservative approach to getting back up front. He's already made a good
Mitchell Welker almost got into a wreck with Andrick down the straightaway, almost made some contact. He's all good, but currently running in 10th.
It's kind of starting to single file out, at least in the back of the packs. Welker's be attacking again, I believe, as here comes Byron Daly. Look who's in the top 5.
Whoa,
Contact.
Yeah, for the leaders, they're almost wheeling each other down the straightaway, but just able to stay out. Both these guys being very aggressive.
Here comes Daly.
Daly back on form, gonna immediately go to the inside. Liam Quinn clear Liam Quinn, and now hunting down for 2nd as Hollowell's got it, and Daly wants it.
Some of the 2-1s who are already battling for the lead in those 2. Oh, what a wiggle there to go to the outside. But now we have new faces with Hollowell and Liam Quinn battling for the lead this time around, so we'll see if anything changes here.
And Daly and Roberts have been commanding this race. Hollowell trying to show that he's got what it takes. He's going to be side by side, just ike out ahead of Roberts down into turn 3. Hollowell trying to pinch the 41 down, but the tire's too good.
You're going to have to be careful when they get up to the 22 again. They were on
And we're back. I do terribly apologize. My entire house lost internet connection, so the entire stream went dead. Wasn't able to pull it back for a moment. As you can see, we're under yellow of Connor Horn. If you want to explain, you were able to watch all that unfolded.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that happened to you because we most likely, unfortunately, just missed the biggest moment of the season. They were swapping for the lead, battling hard, and it just went sour. Danny Roberts chopped the wing of Matt Hollaba. They wrecked. They got into it with each other, hard into the wall. And John Poole, he was actually able to avoid those two the best he can. He actually was able to split the gap between those two. He made a good job avoiding them. But the 31, Stefan Larkamp, came through, did not apply the brakes as well as he probably should have, rammed straight through the 23 of John Poole, effectively ending Poole's run for the race and the championship. Absolutely destroyed. I believe he might still be out there, but his championship hopes all of a sudden are over. I believe Evan Adams was involved as well,
Yep,
and Wilco, Liam Sheen, unbelievable.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate as we go back green here. Woody Mahan going to lead them down. Liam Quinn on the outside, him and Riley Thompson. And Kite Bomersbach, he's going to be a happy man. He's just got to finish this race now. He's still got to beat John Poole by quite a few points. So he's still got to finish well. Just can't completely go for it. So as long as he gets a decent finishing position, he'll be walking home with his championship. But meanwhile, up at the front, they're going hard at it. Mahan and Quinn for the lead.
A lot of big contenders taken out of it now, as Woody Mahan's probably really happy with that because he was Danny Roberts, Halaba, the guys that were up there pretty much done, and he's one of the final front runners left along with the, I believe the 06 of Byron Daly is still in it, but I believe he pit last caution, so he's at the back trying to get some positions back, but potentially Woody Mahan might be looking at a free win, but that being said, he's dropping back to about 4th now. Liam Quinn leads.
Yeah, and Liam Quinn's going to lead over Riley Thompson for second place. And we got Cohen Evans. He's trying to hike himself up here, get a win. It's been a long time since he's been to victory lane, and he's found himself in a really good opportune chance.
Yeah, he's making good moves now. He's got to believe he's in the catbird seat right now, up to P2 now, behind Liam Quinn. Liam Quinn, a bit of a gap, but you don't want a gap here. Look at Byron Daly up the middle.
Yeah, he's wasting no time. This is going to be big for him. His biggest competitor, Danny Roberts, is out of the race. And so now here's a chance for him to get a win without having to worry about the 41, because those two are one of the fastest guys in this race, one of the best cars arguably on the track. And now here he is trying to take it away, but he's got few cars to work through. Here he goes to the inside of Cohen Evans now for 3rd.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a block there almost going out of turn number 4, as everyone's all over the place right now. They're probably driving really antsy after seeing what just happened in the race. The whole scheme of the race, kind of like what happened on Tuesday, flipped upside down.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't go with that for that race is really crazy. This, I mean, still has, I guess, a chance to evolve into lunacy, although we did lose quite a few drivers. Hollaba, Larkamp, Roberts, Wilco, Dixon. Actually, we did lose quite a bit, although still a lot of the front runners are still here and going strong.
So Byron Daly, he's already going to go for the race lead to his famed kind of individualized outside line. He's definitely worked it almost better than anyone else has, other than maybe Mahan this run, but we'll see. He's having a great run so far.
I think he's also done a good job at just spooking people out of that outside lane as well. He's just driving in such a demanding style. A lot of people are honestly just backing off afraid of Daly, although Quinn's still trying to fight with him here for the lead. He's not giving up this easily.
Well, that being said, he just did give Daly the inside, so he is giving it up.
Yep, and there he goes, Daly to the lead. Liam Quinn in 2nd, Scott Taylor 3rd, Cohen Evans in 4th.
Yeah, they're packed up just like they were when the wreck happened. If they get close to each other, they might be racing really on their toes now, as I don't think anyone really wants to see anything like that happen at the front of a pack, because that wreck was big, but it could have been even bigger. A lot of people did a good job avoiding it, but I don't think anyone wants to see anything like that right in front of them again.
No, they don't, especially Kite Bomersbach. Looking at the order, looks like John Poole was able to take that into 16th, and we got 14 guys still running, and again, the way the points are distributed, he still needs to finish up higher, so not all said and done for the 37 just yet. Just need to finish in a solid position and just make sure, really more importantly, keep himself out of stuff like that, and I think that's what he's trying to do earlier, and if if this all works out, slow and steady wins the race and the championship.
Yeah, ironically enough, this is, I think, sort of the farthest he's been up the order in 7th, so maybe he's figuring that him being in 7th at the moment, obviously, like, maybe he's thinking that he can go all out.
I guess he can. I think he's going to be happy sticking in just outside of the lead where these guys are constantly going at it. You can see Cohen Evans rock around the outside, so I think he's trying to stay out of that chaos and keep himself back just in case something happens. He can take advantage as Liam Quinn's going to get passed by Scott Taylor and also almost Woody Mahan on the outside. Mahan's not able to get quite past yet. Quinn will stay in 4th.
Okay, Byron Daly's finally got the track position that that Danny Roberts had pretty much the whole first half or so of the race. He's finally in a position where he can control the lines, can basically control the race. He must be feeling great about his chances now.
And he's going to look to the inside. Scott Taylor's going to look to the inside of Cohen Evans and behind Byron Daly for 2nd place. And Taylor now looking at that Taco Bell machine. He's looking pretty strong here. He's going to build up a run on Daly, going to back out of it.
Really had nowhere to go there. He might be one of those guys who all of a sudden he's up front. I don't believe he was really running top 5 before these wrecks happened, so he might be trying to bide his time a little bit as he'll run the outside lane.
And Mahan now working the outside. Quinn stuck on the bottom, and that's going to sort themselves out.
There he goes. Big move by Taylor to the inside. Nope, he's definitely not riding to the...
Yeah, but he's going to wash up the hill. Here comes Byron Daly back on the inside. This is what was going on earlier. We're back with it again. Different players.
He's got a spinner off of 4.
Mike Hurley going to spin off of 4, come back onto the track. No caution. We remain green.
Yeah, that's going to hurt his night as well. Back wing into the inside wall there. It's going to be crooked now, and that might be any chances of a good run for him.
It's really unfortunate for him. We'll see if he can try to get back in this race. I doubt it. The car that we saw was pretty torn up. Pretty much race ending.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate just how fragile these Indy cars are. One little tap with the suspension could end your race, even though maybe the steering isn't so bent, but it will end your race. It emphasizes how careful you have to be with these open wheel cars.
Taylor goes back along the inside. Looks like he's going to be able to keep it for the turn and come down the straight again. He's going to lead a lap. Daly, we're now working to the outside with Cohen Evans and Liam Quinn sitting in behind. It looks like Taylor's going to now take command of this race.
A lot more line protecting going on right now. Scott Taylor and both him and Byron Daly both trying to protect their lines as best they can. They're not letting anyone into their lines right now.
No, they're not. They're both trying to make sure that bottom lane, the better lane, for most of this run, keep it to themselves. Well, we have seen that outside work pretty well with Byron Daly. You see him go way to the outside.
The one who's going way to the outside pretty much every lap is Woody Mahan. He's really trying to make the high line work early in this run. It's just not there yet, but he's made good leeway. He's sticking to P5 at the moment.
Indeed sticking there, and here comes Byron Daly back around the outside, going to rocket around Liam Quinn. Cohen Evans going to follow suit, and how about Kite Bomersbach? He's starting to inch into this picture as well.
Yeah, he's right there as well. The top 5 kind of separated, but Bomersbach just biding his time a little bit. He's finally found his way up to the front, but he's definitely, I wouldn't believe he's going to get into this battle that quickly.
Now Daly working to the outside. Now coming back down in behind the 95. Taylor going to get a nice draft down the front straightaway and work around the outside. We've seen him. This is where he really excels. It still looks like that bottom lane with the caution coming out recently still going to be better for at least another 10-20 laps.
I don't know if there's going to be enough time for the outside lane to really get going in these runs, because if it does go green from here, I believe they're going to see short pits happen. They might see short pits happen because I don't think they can make enough fuel, as they only went 50 laps when the first green flag stop started happening. So yeah. I don't know how much strategy can really be played.
Yeah, I'm not really too much sure either. We're still got about 57, 56 laps left in this race.
My favorite's Daly. I don't know about you.
No, I think that's
Whoa!
One of the best cars to pick. You see Cohen Evans and Liam Quinn make some contact, as well as Woody Mahan. Somehow, no one gets wrecked going to turn 1, although that very much could have been someone.
Yeah, Woody Mahan really forced his way to the way outside line on the top of those two. I don't think Evans or Quinn really knew they were going to be 3 wide there. Aggressive move there. Almost didn't work out yet again.
Yeah, no one got damaged from the looks of it. We're going to still keep it clean for now. Between both these guys who were riding with Woody Mahan working on Liam Quinn, now trying to get to the outside of Cohen Evans.
Mahan Mahan with a great run on the way top there. Really works in 1 and 2 once it gets going. Great run off of 2. He's going to get up to P4 easily.
And right behind them in P6, Riley Thompson going to have a move to the inside of Cohen Evans. And we were missing him for quite a lot of this race. He's back here at the top trying to make some noise yet again. Started on pole.
It doesn't seem like he's getting great runs out of the turn. It's almost like he's being too passive in these turns, not building big enough runs. He's not able to really get alongside anyone to make moves that well, but maybe he's starting to find something working. Up to P6 now, above the 37, who's dropped back to P7.
Yep, and Quinn was able to take away second from Byron Daly. Daly dropped back to third, which is one of the lowest positions while racing. He's dropped back to. He's pretty much been staying in the top 2 spots for most of these green flag runs.
A little bit of a diamond there. He started outside in that turn. He brought it all the way down to the inside line. He's going to have a great run.
Gonna follow, almost went to the inside of Scott Taylor. Gonna elect for the outside now. And is it too early for this, or is it gonna work?
Couldn't hold it well there, but he's still got a bit of a run to hang on his outside into turn 1. We'll see what really happens out of 2 here.
And he's been giving Taylor quite a bit of space, and you see clearly that inside lane still good, as Liam Quinn also fancies for that inside.
Woody Mahan's going to get to the inside finally and follow him as well. Byron Daly hung out the dry here. He's going to go back to P4 for the time being. But as they stack up on the bottom, he's going to be able to get that run back probably around Woody Mahan.
Yeah, and you can see Mahan getting a huge amount of arrow wash, and that pretty much held up his progress on the inside lane. Daly's able to use that to his advantage. Move himself up, and behind them, Riley Thompson going to just get past Cohen Evans, putting Evans back in 6th.
You see the different lines starting to happen now. First place on the bottom, Liam Quinn in the middle, Byron Daly had to go all the way to the top there in the turn 1, so all sorts of different lines starting to work here. Woody Mahan tried to run the way top there. Daly was there, and it almost cost him, I believe, P4 to Riley Thompson.
Thompson putting himself back in the picture, and we know that he's a really good driver, very quick driver, and now he's back at the top, so I'm curious if this is going to be bad news for Byron Daly. He's got another driver to really compete with, although even then, Taylor and Quinn are still doing a really good job up in the lead and up in the front.
Yes, because that Liam Quinn was able to get to the bottom on Taylor, and he's going to take the lead for at least a lap here, as here comes Scott Taylor with a run back to the inside. He's going to take it, obviously. He's going to be able to clear him right back.
Starting to single file out here for the lead just a little bit. Few moves happening.
There's a move.
Yep, as I say that, there's a move directly to the inside. The 24 Liam Quinn going to wash up and easily take it from Taylor in no contest.
This is what we can start seeing sometimes in IndyCar racing, these slingshot passes. We see it sometimes between teammates in the actual real-life Indy 500 at Indianapolis, but we usually don't see it on iRacing, but that's what's going on right now is Taylor and Liam Quinn starting to swap it back and forth while Byron Daly just followed.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're trying to work out, maybe trying to separate themselves from the rest of the pack. It's currently working.
I'm sure if that keeps happening, Daly will have no problem with getting separated.
Basically exactly what they're doing. I'm actually kind of interested that they're working together because I don't believe they're teammates. Could be wrong on that.
Whatever works. Definitely don't want to be in a hornet's nest like they were the first run, so you might as well separate as quickly as possible.
It could be, although as they start to do that, Byron Daly falling off a little bit, it's allowed Thompson just to close in a little bit as well as Cohen Evans, bring him in to the picture, but these guys still swapping back and forth. Daly not really able to do much now. It looks like he's just kind of content sitting in third for the moment.
We're talking about the 37 laying back the whole time before the wreck, but it's very possible Riley Thompson was doing the same thing. I wouldn't doubt it.
Can't win the race on pit road, and I think that's what he thought, as well as the 37 of Bomersbach, playing it easy until moment to strike. Well, we're over 2/3 of the way through this race, getting down into the nitty-gritty.
Really no big packs. There's not really two distinct packs anymore. It's kind of just, it's about 3 seconds separating the top 11 from each other, and then you have Joe Martin, I believe, probably with damage running around at 12.
Yeah, Johnny Martin's currently back on the back straightaway, many seconds behind. The car looks fine. Not sure what happened to him, but I continue to run out there. We've got 13 cars running on the track as Liam Quinn makes a move to the inside again. And I'm really curious if Daly is going to still sit in behind or if he's going to maybe make something happen, because I definitely know that Riley Thompson's going to try to make something happen.
You might want to try making something happen before you get the pit stops. you're gonna have to time everything perfectly here and be able to get a track position advantage going into pit stops, and especially coming out of pit stops, obviously.
And just to take a look, this is going to be slightly inaccurate, but pretty much so. No, it's completely accurate. that graphic completely broke. It said, Connor, I know you can't see it. It said that they've gone 107 laps on their stint.
I didn't think you could stretch it that far.
Yeah, you're going to have to hypermile that to get anywhere close to that. But no, these guys definitely
hybrids?
can't go that far. We do believe, though, they have to make a pit stop. What lap was it that we got the restart on?
I thought around lap 80. I could check. I think that maybe the yellow happened around lap 80.
Yeah, so around there. So we think it's a little bit too far for these guys to make it to the end.
73, I believe, was
73.
when the restart
Yeah,
happened.
I think that's going to be a little bit too far because that's looking at 80 laps. No, wait, no, sorry. Yeah, no, that is looking at 80 laps.
About just under.
Yeah. So
Maybe stretching it could be the move because you're waiting on fuel in IndyCars anyway, so you might as well minimize that.
indeed you should. And currently, well, we got a race on our hands. Here comes Byron Daly looking to the outside of Scott Taylor. He's got Riley Thompson, Cohen Evans, and Mahanen behind the top 6, all in one big pack.
Yeah, Liam Quinn's probably loving this at the moment, but what he doesn't love is Byron Daly getting clear for a second. He's going to have a huge run on him, possibly down the back.
And Riley Thompson looking on board with his view of this. He's got Cohen Evans, who's outside, riding behind Scott Taylor. Look at him, just keep it pressed down to the white line.
I don't know how bad the arrow push would be for second place Daly, but if I was Quinn, I'd try running that outside line because you know Byron Daly's going to he's going to keep getting big runs like he is until he passes him, which he might have a shot at him in the turn 1 here. So you might try to want to run his line, but that being said, he's going to go back to the bottom. And Daly is probably going to have the position done coming into 3 here. He's going to have a huge run build.
There he goes to the inside, gonna leave barely any room for Quinn, gonna dive down way towards the apex in 3, slide up on exit, and looks like he's gonna take the lead away fairly easily.
It looks like Quinn's going to have a run back, but Daly's going to have none of it. He's going to go to the inside, though. Kind of surprising, as Liam Quinn's probably going to get the same run that Daly just did, and these two are separating themselves from the other 3 on back as they race for position. Scott Taylor trying to hold back Evans and Thompson.
And getting rid of it, you can make it just over 50 laps on fuel. Oh, definitely not going to be enough to go all the way to the end. They're going to have to make another stop fairly soon.
Coming up on John Martin now.
Yeah, curious on how he's going to do. Lap cars have been doing a pretty good job at staying out of the way. And Mahan and Cohen Evans go back at it in the midfield, or what is currently the midfield, around 6th or 7th. A few cars running, only 13. Everyone else is crashed out due to damage.
It looked like Woody Mahan was really making something work on the outside early in the run, but whatever it was working stopped working, and he hasn't been able to make much leeway up on the leaders now. As here comes Cohen Evans coming into pit road, using the access road once again, apparently.
Yeah, he's going to use the access road, play it safe in that GoPro machine, and he's going to make it on through and pull down his pit. So one of the first takers. We'll see if anyone else decides to. Yeah, not tire wear is really much of a big issue. If anything, you want the draft is really going to be the most important thing. So Evans down in early. Who else is going to come down?
I just don't know with... Obviously, you wait on fuel in these pit stops. I don't know if it's worth pitting early. I think a number of the people are going to stretch it as far as you can, and the possibility of someone messing up their pit entrance like we saw Danny Roberts do, it's possible that he might have just hurt himself badly. It might hurt him more than help him by pitting that early, but I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I think really for anything, I think it's just going to be the fact that he's going to be out of the draft. I think it's going to hurt him more so than anything else. Well,
pay attention to what times he runs compared to the leaders.
Yeah, I doubt it's going to be... I don't know.
So you got the lead pack running 1. Speaking of 1s, Daly and Quinn ran a 1.32 both last lap. That's interesting. Now we got Scott Taylor, Liam Quinn, Byron Daly separated from Woody Mahan, and Riley Thompson. And Kite Bomersbach looking at a championship, chilling in P6.
Yeah, He's just kind of riding. No need for him to push the issue now. One main championship competitor is out of the race, and I was talking with you early on. I thought it would have been Poole pretty much taking the championship away unless he made a mistake, in which case Bomersbach could have taken advantage, and well, that's exactly what happened.
Can't say.
Here comes Mahan into the pits.
Here comes Mahan. Maybe he's trying the same sort of strategy that Cone Evans is trying. Cone Evans' last lap on his warm-up ran a 25.3. I think we said the leaders were running 25.1s. I know Scott Taylor just ran a flat, so did Daly.
And Cone Evans ran a 25.1.
Yeah, that's obviously not going to cut it. Oh, here comes Daly in.
Slipped on the white line as he was getting slowed down. That could have been a wreck there. Another wreck. And Daly's going to get it slowed down onto the pits. Let's see if any more drivers are going to make their way on down soon. They can't really go that much further on these tanks.
I don't know. We'll see what see if Liam Quinn pits here. See what he runs as well.
Yep, and he's going to come on in. So is Scott Taylor. No other takers from the leaders so far. It looks like we got Cristobal Valenzuela. I haven't mentioned him tonight. He's down into the pits for his stop.
Yeah, Cone Evans on his own is running flats. If like the lead, if no one pit up in the lead pack, I just wouldn't see a way for Evans to really catch back up.
Yeah, it's gonna. I think it's gonna be tough for him. I'll have to see where he comes out in order. Might be caught up in the middle of things. I'll have to see.
Riley Thompson on his own now, essentially in the lead as he stays out with Bomersbach and Mitch Welker. As Thompson ran a 1.37. Cone Evans coming to the line now, running away bottom, trying to gain any time possible. He ran a 0.76, so it's really not that big of a difference. It might help a little bit, but I don't know. If you have worn tires, people stretch it all the way up to
Riley
newer
Thompson
tires.
Sideways down into the pits is going to leave some tire marks on the track as well. Kite Bomersbach trying to avoid Thompson on slaughter. Whoa, he's still sideways. Oh,
well,
boy.
He's lucky he just didn't throw everything he worked for, everything he got
that's
in his favor.
That could have thrown it right
disaster.
away. Oh, boy. Let's take a look at that. Take a look at Riley Thompson's pit road entry because that was very entertaining to say the least. You're now looking on board with Riley Thompson. Starts to slow down, back end comes around, he saves it down into the pit road, and then watch Kite Bomersbach there trying to slow down, locks up the brakes. Is good, gets back going, almost goes back the other way.
That could have been disaster and all that. Those top three pit right there. Mitch Welker is going to go third to first as Byron Daly, Woody Mahan. I keep pronouncing that wrong. I apologize. Is there a 3 wide? Maybe effectively for the lead.
3 wide for the lead. This is for the lead. Here they go. Liam Quinn on the inside. Byron Daly, Woody Mahan, all going at it.
Yeah, now it's go time. All bets are off. No pit stops to go, really. Under green, at least. You got to go for it now.
Indeed, you do. Running out of laps here. Next time by, it'll be 25 laps to go for the win in this race. If Kite Bomersbach can make it back in one piece, he should be the one taking on the title. We'll keep you updated, keep you posted on what's going on there, but that's what we're most likely sure of here in the SimTV booth.
There might be some penalties as well. With the way John Poole is taken out of this race, there might be some harsh penalties possibly, because I know you didn't see Finian, but I can show it to you later. That's unfortunate to say the least, how he got taken out of his championship race like that.
Yeah, honestly, I think I might have you send me the replay and we'll post the wreck separately as its own video, because I think that deserves to be posted the moment that effectively ended the championship.
We're going to have to pay attention to how quickly Thompson, Bomersbach, and Mitch Welker catch up to the top 4, because they're 4 seconds back. So
yeah, I don't think you can
me.
really do a lot of catching up at that point. I think you really pretty much have to be with the pack. You can't really drive on fresher tires because the tires don't matter a whole lot. At least when you're trying to make up seconds.
Yeah, they lost time there, like I said. So kind of surprising to me. They all 3 of them almost spun coming into pit road with the chaos they had. So botched pit entries really might have hurt them a lot more, and it's looking like it's going to be a 4-car race to the end here. Oh, there goes Daly with him.
Daly to the inside of Scott Taylor. He's going to get the spot back. Liam Quinn trying to defend on that inside, almost in the white line, almost in the grass down the back straightaway. Oh boy. Easy, boys. Still got some laps left.
Still got 20 to go. Still got a long way to go, really. Might fly by in a hurry, but they're going to be long laps racing for a win like this. Whoa, look at that move by Mahan.
Yeah, these guys are playing with inches here, and it's going to only get, I guess, more competitive as they get, and they're going to see more desperate moves here. And here comes Daly now to the inside of Quinn, and he's going to take the lead.
We've seen the leader sometimes leave just barely a groove on the bottom going into turn 1 or turn 3. As we get later into this race, that groove's either going to get smaller where a car can't fit, or someone like Woody Mahan or Daly are going to take any opportunity they can to see any daylight to make the move, and it could result in disaster.
It could result in disaster, and got Liam Quinn working on the outside of Byron Daly.
Might have a good shot here. Going to pinch him hard here. He's not giving Daly any room to work with. Woody Mahan with a run there, really pinching hard for the race lead. Now is Liam Quinn, and he's probably going to be able to clear him off of 2.
All right, on board with Scott Taylor, taking a look at this battle up ahead. And, just kind of which lane do you go? If you're in third and second, it's a lot easier to try to fight for the lead. In third, you got a lot more things to consider.
I still think
Scott Taylor started back in 20th all the way up in the third, so a great climb up for the 95.
the top 5 consists of 3 drivers who didn't start top 10, so all of them had great climbs to the front.
This is pretty much your leaders here, and the guy's going to be fighting for the win. The next pack back. This is Riley Thompson, Mitchell Welker, Kite Bomersbach, and Cohen Evans, 5th through 8th. We saw Cohen Evans, we were talking about him maybe potentially getting back into the fight, but unfortunately that kind of hurt him more in the end.
Yeah, that pack, just, the tires aren't fresh enough, like we say all the time. They just don't matter enough in these cars, really. Unless you're at a high tire wear track. They've been 4 seconds back since they exited the pits. It doesn't look like anything's going to change.
And here we're looking at Byron Daly now on the outside of Liam Quinn, making a move.
Pinching is starting already. 15 to go now. The pinching is just going to get harder and harder. Liam Quinn's going to get no room down there. We might go 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Taylor.
Taylor looking on the outside. I think he's going to give these guys plenty of room. He doesn't want to wreck all 3 of them. One driver I'm kind of curious on what's going to happen is Woody Mahan. Remember Mahan at the end of the first green flag run we had? He waited till the end of that run to finally make some moves and was able to easily take away the lead. Let's see here. He's been saving his stuff, and we say tires don't matter a whole lot when trying to catch the back. It definitely counts and matters a lot when you're in the pack. You have a lot more maneuverability, especially to stay on that inside line.
Look at Taylor here. He almost had the edge going into turn 1 there. There might even be 3 wide off of 2 here. Taylor can't really hold it. Still too wide. I think the middle lane's going to be the preferred line to win this race. Byron Daly's been able to run it perfectly so far.
He's going to, just like ahead of both these guys, put Taylor and Quinn back 2 wide. And Quinn losing a lot of time in that inside lane now.
See what happens with the dirty air from the lap car, I believe. That
Johnny
is... Who is that? Yep, John Martin again. He's going to let him by, leave the inside open. And he's just going to let him have a good race. Almost got into the wall there, actually. And here comes Scott Taylor for the outside race.
And the Taco Bell machine trying to get it done there.
They should have a deal like they do for the World Series. If he wins, he get a taco.
If one could only wish we can get a deal like that.
You can use a taco.
Yeah, I know. Taco Bell's really good.
Oh, switch over to the inside there. That's a good move, but I don't know if it's going to stick, especially when you're 3 wide.
We've seen those tires start to wear out. He just clears Daly before they get to the corner. He's going to slide up a little bit through the middle, and he's going to stay there at least to the line. Quinn below
3
the
wide.
white line.
What a move. If it sticks, all of them had to give room. The big loser, Byron Daly, he's going to swash all the way up the racetrack. Liam Quinn back to the lead for the time being.
Yeah, Quinn back there. Taylor going to work back along the outside. We'll see if he can try to make it work again. Quinn looking dominant so far here as these guys come back to the line. 10 laps to go in this race and in the season.
There is no, line rule going below the line for a pass.
I think there is. I don't necessarily know. We'll wait to see if Quinn gets called in question for that. So far, looks like he hasn't been. So we'll continue on.
He definitely had his left sides below it, but when the pass was made, they gave him the room to go back above it. So it'll be an interesting call. I don't know if he'll win him the race. If he wins the race, it might get interesting if they investigate it or not. But it doesn't seem like it helped him enough. As let's see, just trying to wait for when Woody Mahan gets a run going.
I'm kind of really curious. He's kind of almost like a sleeping giant here. With the way he's just been kind of hanging out. He hasn't been really much in this fight. He's been trying to make some moves here and there, but really hasn't forced his way into the lead or battle like the three guys ahead of him. So he might have something here. And remember, you only have to win at the checkered. Before then, doesn't really matter. So that could be what he's saving for that one final move.
I think you have to be in the top 2 to win this race at the end. You got to be one of the top 2 spots. Unless you make a crazy move to the inside, just like right there. The 0-6 almost tried to make one work there.
This guy's playing with inches here, coming down to it. And just kind of waiting to see, who's going to make that final move. I'd say, honestly, the worst place to be would probably be in the lead. I think you're most likely a sitting duck, especially with Quinn and Daly. They're looking really aggressive now.
All these moves below the white line, I think that was one of the admins who just came over to radio for them to cool it off a little bit. But I don't know how you can cool them off.
Whoa! Especially like that. Daly, elevator top to bottom to the inside. Taylor and Quinn have to give him room. And Daly's going to muscle his way back to the lead. Let's see what Taylor can do. Trying to go back down. He's going to go straight to the outside. What a darting move. And here comes Quinn now 3 wide. Oh, boy.
I don't think Woody Mahan wants to battle for the lead. He can't have 4 wide work.
I think he's going to try.
Here we go.
Quinn.
I would not be surprised to see a 4 wide photo finish here the way it's going. Byron Daly did not get a good run there. He's actually going to go back all the way to 3rd all of a sudden. Scott Taylor back to the lead.
Yeah, Taylor back to the lead. I don't know how long it's going to be for. Oh, man, we're getting down to it. Back at the line. It's going to be 4 laps to go. This is the best battle on the track.
Woody Mahan's kind of gotten himself into that battle right now. I think Liam Quinn's in the best position right now. He's going to pinch Scott Taylor as much as he can, almost contact into a turn there. He might have a good chance at getting the edge into turn 3 next time.
Taylor on the outside. Sorry, Taylor on the inside. Liam Quinn on the outside. Daly sitting back in 3rd, waiting for something to happen. Oh, man, Quinn and Taylor almost wheel each other down the straightaway. Here comes Daly now looking to the outside. Mahan still waiting. It looks like he's starting to make a move to the inside here. 3 laps ago.
All 4 of them could still win this race. Almost contact again. Daly almost to the outside line, trying to make another through-ride move work. That 3rd lane just still has not came in. It will not work. But I think Daly's still trying to rear a good run. Here he comes.
Oh, Daly going to move his way to the inside, through the middle, through the needle. He will go up into the lead.
Does not get much better than this. The middle lane's the preferred lane. I can't believe it was left open. Daly back to the lead now, but Liam Quinn with a great run to the inside. He might be able to take it back into turn 1. 2 laps of racing to go.
Yeah, 2 laps of racing to go. It's getting down to it, riding on board with Scott Taylor. He's just waiting in the wings here. Daly not trying to mount up a move. We got 1.5 laps left to go here.
Bit of a lean protection there. I don't know if you want to give Daly the middle, though. He's going to get a great run off as they're coming out of turn number 4. 4 drivers under a blanket going for the win at Homestead. 1 lap left in the seat.
Yeah, here we go. 1 lap left to go. Here comes Woody Mahan. He gets past Scott Taylor immediately to the outside. He goes almost in the wall. That might have ruined his run. Meanwhile, looking at Byron Daly down the back straightaway. He's going to build up a run. Here he goes down to the inside in turn 3.
How far does he send it? Can he clear Liam Quinn? He's going to wash all the way up the racetrack, go for a slide job. He's going to be able to clear him. Does Quinn have the run to get there? No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. And it's going to be Byron Daly who takes home the win at Homestead.
Here comes Kite Bomersbach to take the checkered flag as well. Barring any sort of penalties randomly, a P6 should be good enough to get the job done.
Yeah, and from what I've been hearing, he should be the one that takes home the championship. We'll have to see, and we'll make sure before everything's said and done, he should be the one that takes it home.
Wow.
Yeah, it comes home actually in P6. So, fantastic job for Bomersbach. I feel like that should give it to him, but we'll wait for an official word. But at the start-finish line, it's going to be Byron Daly that does some burnouts here as the winner at the Fuel IndyCar race here at Homestead. And Bomersbach looks like he's lined up to do some burnouts. I would feel like that's some sort of confirmation that he's going to be our champion.
How about the 3-wide move by Daly? That won him the race. Unbelievable.
Yeah, through the middle, 3
to
wide.
Get him up there in the first place, and then the audacity to really go for a slide job like that into turn number 3. I really didn't expect him to send it all the way there, but he was able to make it work. Quinn couldn't get a good enough run, and it was too little too late.
Yeah, indeed. And from what I've been hearing, everyone in chat saying Kite Bomersbach is your champion. I'm gonna take that as some good confirmation as he does some burnouts down the front straightaway here. Your 2019 champion, 2019 B champion, Kite Bomersbach.
He did exactly what he had to do. He conserved as much as he could, and when disaster struck, he got things to go his way. He was out of the thick of it. No drama for him tonight. He's your champ.
Yeah, indeed. And we'll take a look at your... Pull that up. Look at your unofficial results real quick. Got Byron Daly taking home the win. Liam Quinn, Scott Taylor, Woody Mahan. Just look at that. Daly beat Quinn by 36 thousandths of a second at the line. And looking on the rest of the order, a lot of retirements. John Poole going to finish the night in 16th. And leading most of the championship into these final few races. And unfortunately wasn't able to lead it after the final race.
It's really nothing really in his control. He could have laid in the back like Bomersbach did, but that's not his nature, obviously. It never has been. And you really can't blame him at all. It's just unfortunate circumstances would happen, but he'll be back next year without a doubt.
And with that, we'll, as Bomersbach pulls it down into pit road, we'll take this time to go gather up some drivers to get some interviews. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Alright, and we're back here at Homestead for your finishing results. They're scrolling across the top, but we're going to be talking first with Scott Taylor as as for our interview. He's finished in third place after a fantastic finish. And Scott, just kind of walk us through those last few laps.
It was tough. It was all bottom dominant up until the point where it wasn't again. It was like Kentucky, like last time, where I just get caught in the wrong line at the wrong moment. And a great move by Byron to take it through the middle there. I didn't think he had the space, and at that point I had to back out of it. There was no way I was going to be able to hold it down there. And just excellent move. And I was just trying to find a way to maybe make a slider, but all the room was blocked. It was good racing up front.
Yeah, do you think had things gone a little bit different? Do you think if Daly or one of those other drivers wasn't there, do you think you would have had an easier shot at it? I know it kind of sounds like a simple question, but considering how strong Daly was, do you think you had anything for him?
About anybody in that top four there could have had it. The four-car pack definitely made it so you couldn't go all out on like a slide job or anything like that without risking being sent all the way back and shuffled back. So it was trying to find those moves, and Byron just found the right one. I think if it was a bit smaller of a field, I would have had a better chance. But oh well, you win some, you lose some.
Indeed. Well, Scott, thanks for talking to us with a solid third place finish to finish out the season. Hopefully, see you back for next season.
Thank you, guys. You have a good one.
Moving on to our second place finisher, we're going to be talking to Liam Quinn. And Liam, I think I'm going to probably sound like a stuck record for all of you guys, but that was a fantastic finish there at the end. Absolute brawl, all four of you, when it came down to it. Fortunately, you weren't able to get the win, but you were so close out of turn 4.
Yeah, I'm Mr. P2 at the moment, I think. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun indeed. Just kind of walk us through those last few laps. I definitely think Daly probably one of the strongest out of all four of you, but you were really looking aggressive there in those last few laps. Were you trying to set yourself up to be coming across the line in second or third when you were coming down to it, or were you just constantly trying to get the lead?
It's a mix. You want to be at the front at all times. You don't want to, because if you start falling back to second or third, there's a risk that you end up being fourth, and that's the really danger zone where you just can't move, because even if you get a run, you'll get trapped on. So you just want to be at the front, trying to get as much space as they'll give you. So if you're on that low line, if you stick on the white line, they're going to go around you. So you kind of got your elbows out and you push the line as far as possible, so to speak, without wrecking each other, which I think we towed the line.
All right, well, that was your second place finisher, Liam Quinn, after a phenomenal finish. Liam, great job, and we'll see you next time.
Yes.
Moving on to our race winner, Byron Daly. Man, you just made some absolutely phenomenal moves throughout this entire race, at all different parts at the beginning and then towards the end. How are you able to get it done?
Honestly, I really don't know, because that was a lot of luck. I figured it was going to be really exciting there at the end, the way this thing was racing. And it's just, I don't know. It just, everything worked out, timing the runs right and just kind of managing the tires. Car got really free as the run went on. So it was stuff that kind of fell in my favor and fortunately ended up in a win.
Yeah, we saw you with that. So, with this season ending, can we expect to see you back for next season?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I love running the Fuel IndyCar League. I like racing the IndyCar. It's a lot of fun. I really want to up my game on road courses for sure. So, and this is a league that kind of lets me do that on, weekday nights. So I'll definitely be back. It's always fun to.
Yeah, so, and we've seen you have the pace week in, week out. Unfortunately, we weren't able to win the championship this year, but what do you think you can do to make your chances better next season?
Honestly, it'd be have more time to race. Like last season, I was fortunate to run a lot of the races and have a good shot at the title, and just kind of came up short there. And then this year, I really didn't have time to race but a few times. So, it just depends on how my schedule goes next year. If it lines up that I can run more races, I'll run more races and hopefully, have a title run in 2020. But for right now, the focus is just trying to win more races, try to up my game on the road courses, and we'll just see how the points fly at the end of the year.
All right, well, that was your race winner, Byron Daly. Fantastic job out there on the track, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
And last but certainly not least will be Byron. Sorry, not Byron. Will be Kite Bomersbach, your IndyCar, your Fuel IndyCar racetrack designs champion. And man, you did a phenomenal job in this race, just making sure to keep yourself out clean. We were thinking earlier in the race that it was a potential problem that you were having with the car, you just weren't feeling it. But we heard you were trying to take it easy throughout most of that race, and turns out that was the right move.
Yeah, no, it was fully intentional to drop all the way to the back there. There are some guys up front that I frankly just don't trust. So I was just hanging out in the back, and eventually that wreck did happen, and I do want to say it's like terrible to win this way. John, he did everything right this season. This is really like the one mistake he's had, at least on an oval, and it's not his fault. Like, he got completely wiped out. It's really unfortunate. I know Stevens. I've had so many clean battles with him. He made a mistake today. So I feel terrible for John, because he put up a great championship battle and then didn't get the chance to finish it off. But that was the whole point of me being in the back there, was to miss the wreck. I knew it was going to be a pack race, and I just wanted to kind of, keep away from everybody for a while.
Yeah, and definitely. I don't think anyone really has can take that away from you for the championship, But I am curious though, with the way things were running, with the strategy you had in plan, do you think if that wreck happened? Do you think you definitely would have had a shot at getting at pole?
I honestly I don't know. He had a lot of speed. I was just starting to kind of pick my way through the field though. And then as soon as he got wiped out, I went straight back to conservative. So I don't know if I had more in the tank because I never really went searching for it. I know he was right up near the front, so it's just unfortunate that we didn't get to see if I could take it away from him.
Yep. Well, no matter what happened, Kaiden, you're the champion at the end of the day, and you did a phenomenal job this season, getting yourself, especially in the last few races, trying to close up that gap to John Poole. You're just close enough where you were finally able to pass him this race after unfortunate stuff happened to him, but you did a solid job this season. Congrats on a championship.
Thank you. I'd like to take the time real quick to thank a
Go
few
for it.
people. I want to thank Will Roberts, of course. He's been right there with me, kind of since the beginning of the ISDC days, which was the previous iteration of this league, and I won't mention that name again. And then I want to thank also a few people that helped me be good at sim racing. One of those is Stephen Larkamp, though unfortunate circumstances today. Another is Jeff Newport. He helped me tremendously when it comes to finding lap time, particularly on the road courses. And then lastly, one of my longtime teammates, Cass Silliman, just been great for helping me develop as a sim racer. 6-7 seasons here in these Indy cars, and finally out here on top. It's just a great feeling.
All right. There's Kite Bomersbach, your series champion. Thank you for talking with us, Kite, and we'll see you, and good luck in your next season.
Appreciate everything y'all do for.
All right, so on that note, that's going to end it for us tonight. And we'll pull up the results there so you can see the full list down the order. Byron Daly taking the win in a exciting finish to the end. Kyle Bomersbach finishing in 6th, wrapping up the championship. And Connor, how was that race from your point of view?
It's pretty much what we expected. We expected the finish, the racing, to be pack racing, and it did spread out a bit more than I thought it would as the tires wore, but it was really the whole night, especially the championship race, was pretty much defined by mistakes. And some people's mistakes, unfortunately, ended John Poole's race for the championship. And you never really want to see a championship decided in a way like that. But regardless, I still think Bommersbach is deserving of the championship. He had a really smart drive tonight, and there's not many better champions than him. Congrats to him.
Yeah, now again, do have to apologize for what happened. We missed probably the biggest wreck of the season due to my house entirely losing internet connection. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get that back for a few minutes, but unfortunately, we were able to get back for the end of this race. I will be trying to upload piece of that wreck for those who weren't in the racing server to see, and just to kind of put it up there, because I think it's such a big controversial moment that we do need to put it up. So expect that to be uploaded within the next few hours to the channel. Again, my apologies for not being able to do that, but it was out of my control. So that's my way for remedying that. But it was an exciting season for the Fuel IndyCar Series. The half that we covered was really thrilling action. So for whoever picks up the series, I hope they do a good job, because this is a great series, great growing series, and hopefully it continues on for a very long time. But that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.